What's up, guys? Do you need a way to store your kit? This is a pretty great option, not too expensive, but you also kind of have to pay a little bit for looks. We got some black iron pipe fittings, some handmade burnt wood, we got drywall screws along with wood screws, and the unfinished kit. I am planning to add a little bit more to this, like some hooks on the left, just to store like my duty belt, which is down there, and some other things like that. Other than that, let's get right into the video. So obviously, I didn't really think of making the video before I had already made it and put it up. One thing that I would note is I definitely recommend going into studs. This is not very light. I mean, iron is heavy in and of itself, and then you're putting a plate carrier with plates in it, and then eventually a fully loaded helmet, maybe with nods someday, we'll see. But right now I am in just the drywall, which it's worked just fine. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it. But also for the sake of time, I could not get this off. I cranked this thing onto the floor plate. So other than that, these 4 screws are going to be wood screws. We've got 4 drywall screws that are going to go into each corner. And I guess if you really wanted to reinforce it, you could probably put 2 more on each side, but that's totally at your own discretion. So materials we're going to need, which again can be done differently depending on your own situation, is you're going to need at least one of these 3/4 inch black iron floor plates. Everything is going to be black iron to keep it similar in color. We've got 2 4-inch nipples, which these are called nipples. They're threaded on both ends. And then we have 2 6-inch nipples, along with, I bought 3 end caps, but I only ended up using 2, and I replaced the 3rd end cap with another floor flange. And then we're also going to need 2 black iron 3/4 inch tees. Everything is 3/4 inch. And then this, again, I got it super tight. This is a 2-inch nipple, which you could change out for like a close nipple, which would just be basically the 2 tees are going to touch at that point then. Other than that, let's start getting this thing mounted. So for mounting, you're definitely gonna want to get a level to level it out on your wall. Find a good place for it. Make sure you're gonna have enough room for your kit. And then really, I just pre-drilled the 4 holes in the wood so your wood's not gonna crack. And I also pre-drilled the drywall. So you'll just have to make some measurements, make your marks, find out where those holes need to be, and you will be all good. And then, since I'm just in the drywall, you have to use these little plastic inserts. You can buy them in any like wall hanging kit that you can get at Myers, Menards, Lowe's, Home Depot, if you like Home Depot. I'm not a Home Depot guy, even though I'm going to be using a rigid impact driver, but other than that, we're going to get right into screwing this thing onto the wall. One thing to note that makes it a little tough is you kind of have to pre-drill the screws through the wood so you can line it up with your holes on the wall. That way you just have a reference point, and you don't want to get these super tight. I know it sounds like I'm making them super tight, but it's really not. And we will, like I said, in order to not crack the wood, you just have to get the wood flat against the wall first, and then get those screws in nice and tight. And that last screw should line up perfectly, so you have nothing to worry about. Other than that, we're going to start hooking up the iron. So your floor flange, you definitely want it centered on your wood. Why wouldn't you center it on your wood? That will be the best way to carry load as well. So we're going to start off with your floor flange. Make sure that's level. Well, not level. You're not going to be able to level the circle, but just make sure you can get it as straight as possible so it at least looks good. And then we're gonna put one of the 4-inch nipples 3/4 inch, like I said before. And then we'll go ahead and slap a T on there. And you don't have to crank everything super tight right now. Just make sure it looks good and straight. As straight as it can be, at least. And then from that T, we're gonna bring our 2-inch nipple, or like I said, I might have preferred getting a close nipple, or they might call it a closed nipple, I'm not sure. But I believe it's called a close nipple because that would get you to get these T's touching. But I kind of like having the space there. It also gives you a little bit more space to hang things on the side, and your helmet kind of sits down a little bit. So we're gonna go ahead and thread this guy on here. And again, these two parts aren't together because I physically could not get them apart without using some sort of tools. And you really don't have to use any other tools other than your impact with the drill bit and then a Phillips head if you're using Phillips head screws. And we're gonna, like I said, just get it semi-tight. Doesn't have to be insanely tight right now. And then off of that T, we're gonna screw in a 6-inch nipple on each side. And right now, once you get these nipples in, I mean, you can really see how unlevel this T is. So in order to fix that, you can kind of just, it's real easy to turn it once you have this leverage, and you can kind of just eyeball it to make sure it's straight. And then we'll put another 4-inch nipple coming out of the top of your first T. Just get them hand tight. We'll put our 2 end caps on the 6-inch nipples. There we go. Just having a tough time with that one. And originally, I had put a 3rd end cap up here, but my helmet kind of wanted to rock to the side and front and back a little bit. So these floor flanges actually come in 2 packs. So I'm actually opting to put this floor flange on upside down. And that seems to have a lot more surface area to be able to hold that helmet a lot better. Other than that, that is it. I mean, that's really it. Total time it took me to put together was about 20 minutes. One thing to note is all of your black iron pipe fittings are gonna come with it's almost like Cosmoline on guns. It's something so it doesn't start rusting. And the black coating, like on my pieces, they're kind of marred up a little bit, but they came like that. You can probably look for better pieces while you're in the store, but I really love the rustic look of this. I think it just looks really nice by itself, and then it even looks better with the kit on it, of course. So total cost for this was like $47. I think that's a pretty great homemade, awesome looking option to be able to put your kit somewhere where it's not just thrown in a closet like mine originally was. So this is a great way to stay organized, and you can really have a nice display in your own room. So that is all I have today for you guys. It's pretty quick and simple. If you stay up to date on my Instagram posts, you would have known that I'd be posting this as of yesterday. I gave you all a warning. Well, not a warning, but a heads up. So definitely follow my Instagram. That's _high-voltage-patriot. Link will be in the description somewhere. And then that's a really great way to stay up to date on all of my videos, upcoming videos, and kind of what goes on in my personal life if you're more interested in stuff like that as well. I post a lot of my hunting content there, so definitely go give that a follow. It's pretty neat, I'd say. But other than that, I would love for you guys to like, subscribe, comment. This has been Blue Collar Tactical. I am the High Voltage Patriot. See ya. I would love for you guys to like, subscribe, comment, and this has been High Voltage Patriot.